Coming up after a hand signal popularized on TikTok may have saved a teen girl's life. We're hearing from the people who created it.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Tonight we are hearing from the Canadian organization that originated the hand signals a North Carolina teen was using before she was rescued in Laurel County. The Canadian Women's Foundation launched the Signal for Help campaign in April of last year amid a spike in cases of domestic violence. They were hopeful the campaign would be successful, and in the days since our first story aired, the interest and education behind the signals has surged. This story has been shared tens of thousands of times, reaching millions. Chad Hedrick shows us the response the Canadian group has received.
Female in the passenger side, brunette, motioning for help, call 911.
It's the 911 call that rescued a teen girl and led to a story that's gone viral.
Female passenger side, the male driver.
Days after Laurel County deputies say they rescued the 16-year-old from James Brick, the story of the hand signals she used to call for help has reached every corner of the nation.
It really speaks to the power of this signal and the idea that we need to have something to help us make sure that people are safe.
The Canadian Women's Foundation is credited for launching the Signal for Help. The video spread to TikTok, which is where deputies say the teen saw it.
What is so wonderful is seeing people respond to it, know it, share it, want to learn more. It speaks to me that we know this violence is happening.
The foundation says they've gotten many requests to talk about their mission and the hand signal.
And I'm really glad to see the positive response. And I think that we have to make sure that it's not just in this moment when we're talking about this particular story, but we actually make it broader and we speak about it into the future.
But now that the signal is so well known, does this mean there has to be a new one? The foundation says not necessarily, because they're able to have broader conversations about noticing different signs for help.
You might see somebody just be uncomfortable or look silenced or look upset, maybe hint at things but not be able to say, I'm being hurt right now or I'm scared right now, but you can sense it.
A sense of knowing when someone is in danger.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
And being able to respond.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. David Isaacs, the man who made that 911 call, said in a phone interview that while he did not immediately know what the hand signals meant, he knew the girl was in trouble because it looked like she was mouthing, "Help me." He says he is not the hero here. He credits the deputies who responded. The Canadian Women's Foundation is working on a signal response action guide for later this month with examples of signs and signals. Hazard High School principal and Mayor Happy Mobilini and 2 school staff members have been disciplined following a controversial homecoming event. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Mobilini, Larry Thacker, and Joshua Hurt received reprimands by the school system for unprofessional conduct. At the event, teenage boys dressed in lingerie and danced on or near school officials. The copies of the reprimands obtained through an Open Records Act request read that the 3 staff members exhibited, quote, poor professional judgment in that you allowed a student-led skit to reach an inappropriate level. The reprimands instruct the 3 men to attend training and warn that similar incidents could result in them being fired. The state investigation into the incident is still ongoing. Owners with Pig in a Poke are planning to rebuild after a fire destroyed their kitchen in Prestonsburg. The fire happened early this morning. Crews tell us it took about 30 minutes for them to get control of the fire. Co-owner Rick Hughes says he's thankful no one was inside, and now it's time to move forward and bring a staple back to Floyd County.
We'll be back, but we're going to be back, you know, I like to say better than ever. You know, looking forward to getting back. I've already talked to the landlord and told him, I said, you know, we just need to get started and see what we can do.
Pig in a Poke has other locations in Pikeville, Paintsville, and Hindman.
A beautiful day around the mountains today. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day today, and we will continue to see that as we head through the next couple of days. I-64 camera at Moorhead this evening showing we've got plenty of sunshine and now plenty of clear sky out there with us as well. And we'll continue to see that overnight. Traffic moving smoothly this evening on I-75. Highs this afternoon got up into the upper 60s and low 70s around many parts of the mountains. In fact, Monticello got up to 73. Other locations, Logan only got up to 66, as did Pikeville. At this hour, still some warmer spots, mid-50s, Jackson, Prestonsburg, and Pikeville, but some low 40s, even a few upper 30s out there at this hour. Clear skies will help us cool off tonight. We're down into the low 40s tonight, a few upper 30s in those sheltered valleys, but not quite as cold in many spots. Now, we do have some really cold temperatures on the way later on in the forecast, and I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Senator Rand Paul is traveling across eastern Kentucky this week. Today, he was in Manchester to discuss issues including tourism and small businesses before coming to Hazard to meet with law enforcement. I also had the opportunity to sit down with the senator at Hazard City Hall for issues and answers. WYMT's Zach Hawk has a recap of our discussion.
Senator Rand Paul came to Hazard to meet with police officers, showing his support and listening to their concerns.
For the last year or so, we've been going around. We think that law enforcement feels a little underappreciated. There have been a lot of movements to get rid of the police. There are politicians saying defund the police.
Shifting the discussion to major news from Washington, the senator justified his no vote on the bipartisan infrastructure package, sharing concerns about the impact of paying down debt on inflation.
Right now, we're seeing the rising prices in the grocery store and at the gas pump, and a lot of that's because we're borrowing so much money.
And the senator reflected on the legitimacy of the 2020 election.
So a certain amount of people being unhappy with electoral results, I think, is to be expected for both parties. I'm somebody who says, let's move forward, let's make sure it's honest.
Senator Paul explained his thoughts on an honest election. He believes people should vote in person with identification. He added that he did not believe President Trump's argument that Congress could refuse to seat electors on January 6th.
I didn't think his argument was the correct argument, and I didn't support him. I voted to seat the electors. I voted that, even though I was unhappy with the election, I voted to seat the electors. I think that's what I should have done.
The senator also explained his positions on vaccine mandates, the effectiveness of vaccines, and how vaccines are studied. In Hazard, Zach Hawk, WYMT, Mountain News.
We really covered a lot in that interview, and in addition to those topics, the senator and I covered the Democrats' so-called social spending package, his own tax-free education act, the implications of recent nationwide election results, and his upcoming Senate election next year. You can watch it all on Issues and Answers on our website. A memorial is planned for Sunday on the state capitol grounds to remember more than 10,000 Kentuckians now lost to COVID-19. Governor Beshear announced 642 new cases of COVID today, increasing the statewide total to 753,338. There were 26 new deaths, bringing the death toll now to 10,019. The positivity rate is near 5.5%. You can always find the latest COVID information on our website at WYMT.com. The city of Pikeville announced a new business at the Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park. Appalachian Tank Inc. will be the new tenant of the former Silverliner building, moving on with the mission to build tanks for fuel trucks. City officials say the new company, which is a subsidiary of Platinum Tank Group in Canada, comes with success and experience, and they hope it marks a new era for industry at the park.
I believe it's going to be a big catalyst. The announcement of Ford in Kentucky down around Elizabethtown with the electric car and all that. They're looking for spots. The governor's already said no spot is unattainable as far as the satellite companies, how they grow.
City Manager Philip Ellswick says he expects to see the beginning of movement with the company early next year. Community and military officials gathered at the Kentucky Welcome Center in Whitley County today. Those with the Corbin Garden Club unveiled a new Blue Star Memorial marker. It honors those who previously served, currently serving, and will serve. Coordinators say they also plan to unveil a Gold Star marker, which honors military families.
We're planning on near Brock Park, which is right downtown. And we have the flags there, and we have already there's some fallen soldiers that are listed there, and so this we felt would be the perfect place.
Burchett says their organization hopes to see many more markers added across the region. As the Christmas season approaches, several schools are needing sponsors for their Angel Tree programs. Corbin Independent Schools are among those needing sponsors this year. Although sponsors have the opportunity to sponsor children of all ages, it's important to remember the middle and high school age children who are enrolled in the Angel Tree program as well.
Just because they're not little, just because they're in middle school or in high school, doesn't mean they're not as excited about Christmas. They just get excited about different things than the little ones. But it's still so important to sponsor and to buy Christmas gifts for the middle school and the high school.
If you're interested in sponsoring an angel in the Corbin Independent School District, we have more information on our website. Coming up at 11, App Harvest in Morehead gets a visit from the Senate Minority Leader.
And things look to stay mild through the middle of the week. I'll have the complete breakdown on the way.